Hello and welcome back to the MMA Split Pick show ahead of UFC Fight Night. Vera taking on Dominic Cruz, the former champion, arguable GOAT of the bantamweight division. I think you'd have to say undisputed GOAT of the bantamweight division at this point, across all promotions.
That's a tough one, isn't it? Yeah, go on. I was just thinking, Henan Barrow put in a fantastic body of work before Dillashaw effectively retired him. I'll go on. I'll give
I
it to
think you
Dom.
just, I think you just disqualified your own statement there. But he is back. He is not settling. He is not settling for the commentary position. No, I'm just going to keep talking and take away Josh's ability to retort and answer on that one.
I have all the mute buttons, and you have 0 mute buttons.
Yeah, but you show me what I can see.
Yeah. Look, you finish a little bit. We'll circle back round to Dom.
Anyway, cracking main event, huge title implications. Certainly not a title eliminator, but the winner of this fight goes into that title eliminator pool. Certainly for Dom Cruz, he cannot afford a loss at his age. It is win or bust if he is going for the title. And Vera wants to give absolutely nothing away. He has got his own dreams, his own hopes. He is on a great run himself. He's already finished one former UFC champion in his last couple of fights. He will be looking to make that too. Aside from that, we tell the truth on this podcast, not the deepest card. I said that last week. Last week makes this card look even worse by comparison. Last week's card is gold compared to this week. But we had some great finishes on last week's card. This card may even give us more finishes. So although it doesn't look good on paper, it may surprise you and some debutantes. So who knows? You might discover your new favourite fighter. A lot of debutantes and not a lot of close fights. But we're still going to talk about all of it, giving our picks and predictions, all of which is, of course, accumulated in our league table season, which, due to technical reasons, we do not have the ability to pop up on the screen now. But I can tell you that the current scores, I believe, have Josh in the lead, then Sly, and then myself and Bottom.
Yeah, we're
after Sly's win.
4, 2.5, 1.5.
Yeah, I really need to win this one. And the problem is, unfortunately, we are strikingly similar on all of our picks. Sly is not with us for the pick show, but he has again submitted his picks. He will eventually be at one of these podcasts, we promise. For now, just me and Josh to take you through it all. If you are enjoying the content, like the video, leave a comment, even if it's negative. We do not mind. We want to hear all of your feedback. And if you're not subscribed, do click the subscribe button. Josh, with all that out the way, I'm obviously not super excited about this card, but how do you feel about the card?
The fact that we've all pretty much picked the same kind of tells you that it's not an overly competitive card on paper. You know what? We're going to run through it. There are still some good fights on there. And I would just say, Henan Barrow, I think, has got about as many ugly losses at 35 as Dominic Cruz does. If Dominic Cruz's knees held out, if his style was one built that could coexist in harmony with his shitty-ass fucking knees, he would definitely be the GOAT. But those knees, mate, the amount of time out, the amount of big-name fighters that he never really got to test himself against, just big question mark for me. Chito Vera, go on.
I'm just going to hold you up on saying that he had as many bad losses at bantamweight as Henan Barrow. As I bring up Henan Barrow's record here, he ended his UFC streak on 5 straight losses.
I think quite a lot of those were at featherweight, but who were the names? What were his losses at 35?
1, 2, 3... Luke Sanders, Brian Kelleher, Aljamain Sterling, Jeremy Stevens. That was at featherweight, actually. So TJ Dillashaw.
So that Luke Sanders one is really the only bad one, That's the only one where you're you definitely shouldn't be losing that fight. Yeah, I stand by that completely.
I'm just enjoying the fact that you're trying to make an argument that Henan Barrow is a greater bantamweight than Dominic Cruz.
I'm not making the argument that either of them are the GOAT. My point is that I feel like there's other kind of fighters up there. I wouldn't say he's undisputed. I feel like just with the knees, it's just a lot of question marks. And, again, some of his losses at featherweight, and he did have a great run. It's like if he'd just been able to stay healthy and consistent throughout his career, we would have seen the Henan Barrow fight as well, which would have been nice. But then it would be definitive
True.
for me. And this is the big thing, right? He's coming into this fight. It's a must-win fight. I mean, if he loses this, is he really going to take another fight? Can he take that kind of setback again?
I don't think so.
You know, camps.
That's why I think this is win or bust.
Yeah, his camps must have to be quite careful these days because just the amount of times he's busted his knee in training is just a fucking joke.
Okay.
So
just to clarify the conversation we've ended up having instead of about Cruz versus Chito Vera to start off, which is Cruz the GOAT or is Henan Barrow the GOAT? Cruz may not have fought Henan Barrow.
I'm not talking about the GOAT argument. I'm talking about this fight. That's what I'm talking about with his knees.
I just wanted to establish.
Just
wanted to kill this Henan Barrow stuff.
I already had. Do you really think he's coming into this fight with healthy knees or that he's had a particularly good camp?
Dude, he's like 37 years old and he's had years of injuries. No, none of his fights are going to be him 100% healthy. And he's not this. Even if he's the same guy, I think the sport and the division has improved around him. And so, and I don't think he's the same guy. I still think he's maybe like 85. I still think he's like 90% the same guy. Like, that's one of the crazy things about him. The last couple of fights he's had, you and I have both kind of thought, like, is this the moment where we're going to see him get beaten by somebody he shouldn't get beaten by? And it hasn't happened. Now, he hasn't won those fights as dominantly as old Cruz would have done, but he's still a dangerous guy. Now, yeah, he needs to win this. There's no question about it. He's got a cushy job. He doesn't need the money. He's got the commentary position locked in, waiting for him. He's got a Hall of Fame spot waiting for him when he retires down the line. It's all there. He just wants to feel like he can still be the champ. As soon as that's gone, it's over. Can he beat Chito Vera, though? That's the question. I don't
think so. I think Chito is obviously a lot more durable than Cody Garbrandt, and maybe not as fast, but certainly a bit more dangerous. And he's not as well-rounded and skilled as Henry Cejudo and doesn't have the wrestling threat, but again, just a lot more size. And, you know, Cejudo beat Cruz on the feet. We were talking before we started recording, Cruz does dip his head badly when he comes in on combinations. Yeah, worse than I was saying about Jeff Neal in the podcast this week.
Yeah.
I don't know how many rounds he can take getting knee head kicked or just straight up like hooked to the side there, just bouncing off the temple every time. I don't like it.
And here's what you're coming up against in Chito Vera. He's on a great winning streak. He's hyper confident. 2 fights ago, he knocked out Frankie Edgar. He's already got that. I've beaten a former champ that's now a vet that's propelling me forward. The Rob Font fight, he lost, I'd say, 20 minutes of that fight, but he won the 5 minutes that mattered. So you're talking about a guy who's not going to get tired. You're not really going to be able to hurt him. You're not going to get him to give up. He's going to believe that he can finish the fight and beat you no matter what is happening every second that fight is going on. If there are seconds still on the clock, Chito is coming for you and believing that he can land that shot. And he's going to be patient. I think that's going to be the really interesting thing is he's got his boxing, having Perillo as the coach, and his patience. Because he doesn't throw a lot. He's very happy to stand there and pressure and have his high guard. And really, Cruz likes guys throwing at him. So he has something that he can slip around and move around and then do his own work. And I can see Chito kind of forcing Cruz to have to kind of make the first movement and just waiting for that mistake, that thing that Cruz is going to do, which is unorthodox, but as a result has holes and a lack of fundamentals, and catch him clean. We were talking about this before we started recording. The shot I see happening is left or right high kick, faking with the hands and then just throwing the high kick, because Cruz, so many people have talked about it, he every single time throws his whole body in his head, forward or back. You know, he's trying to do these really big slips to avoid and then sort of change the angle to land his own counter strikes. There's so much tape on that. I can't believe that Perillo wouldn't have picked this up and wouldn't have been drilling this into Marlon Vera. And he's exactly the type of striker, great with his kicks, that can utilize and exploit something like that.
Yeah, and it used to work back in the day when he was a lot quicker and he had a bit more power, so people didn't get as many reads on it before he could change up and move to the wrestling. You know, he could rock you, hurt you, score some points, take you down. Now it's move in, miss, whiff, nothing, threaten a single leg. No, I mean against some of the smaller, lower, not lower class, but like the up and coming guys, the Casey Kennys of the world. Yeah, yeah, Dom can still look pretty good. Chito Vera, I don't know anyone that would want to fight him right now. And like I was saying, like this camp, I imagine there would have been a lot of control, a lot of really thinking about how hard they want to push Dom. He's not going to be coming in the shape of his life. His knees won't allow it.
And here's the other issue:
Cordero won't allow
he's
it.
got to be he's got to get it right for 25 minutes. Chito Vera needs to get it right for 30 seconds in each round,
Yeah,
even if it goes to decision, and that's a difficult thing to contend with. He's got a great chin, Dom, and I don't think he would go down. Certainly not from the first shot that Cheeto lands. But I feel that this is going to be a bit like the Rob fight. I think Dom's going to be winning the fight for as long as it goes until the moments that he's losing it. But when he's losing it, he loses it bad.
yeah, I think that's about right. By the way, I meant Del Fiero. I don't know what I said Cordero. Long day, long day.
Do not worry. So I'm going Vera by knockout.
Yep.
You are going Vera by knockout. Slight is going Vera by sub, which I'd be surprised, but hey, stranger things have happened. And also, Sly won last week. We don't need him being discouraged from making strange method picks, particularly when it's this close.
Yeah.
Although it's not going to matter. He's one fight different from us anyway, so it's not going to be methods with him. He either wins it or he loses it. Right, well, I think we spent more than enough time talking about the main event. Let's talk about the co-main event. And these two names fighting on the co-main event tell you everything you need to know about the rest of the card.
Ha.
Nate Landwehr versus David Onama.
I would say just Nate Landwehr is the one that's not really bringing much to the party there in terms of like name value. Onama, one loss was against Mason Jones, good fight. I'm fucking hyped behind Onama, to be honest.
I'm hyped behind him, man, but he's not a co-main event yet, dude. He's a young prospect making his way up.
I know, but sometimes we have fight nights with his debutants as the co-main event.
I know, and I
Twice
don't like that either.
So I'll take this. I'll take Onama in a co-main. It's not a deep card.
Yeah, listen, Nate Landwehr's a dog, man. He is there for the brawl, wants fight of the night, get in the pocket, trade shots. That's what he is all about. And he loves pressuring guys. This will be a challenge for David Onama, who I think's got loads of talent. We saw him start a weight class up on short notice against Mason Jones. And actually, I thought he gave a really good account of himself under the circumstances in that fight. Had a great knockout against Gabriel Benitez, then had his own short notice opponent against a guy he'd fought as an amateur who himself was coming up a weight class. And I will say, I didn't think he looked fantastic in that fight, but he did get it done in the end, although with the circumstances involved, it has left me a little bit unsure about how he deals with guys applying pressure. With that in mind, I actually think this is a well-matched fight because Nate Landwehr is that guy that's going to apply pressure. I just don't think he's going to be able to handle David Onama. He's well coached under James Krause, technically good on the feet, and the power is there. He just has to put it together and get confident. I think he wins this by knockout.
Yeah, can say about myself, Onama KO.
And I think we're all carpooling on that one because Sly is a Onama KO as well. Moving on. Actually, can we go off your order? Because I think my order is incorrect. I've got the women's strawweight bout next, but I've got a feeling that you have got the next fight as Bruno Silva versus Gerald Meerschaert.
Yeah, I'm going off MMA fight cards. Not typically the most accurate, but seeing as everyone's offering up different lineups on this one. And to be honest, I would love to have seen Loopy against Hill as the co-main. I think that would have been a good shout.
That would have been a great one.
Yeah, but yeah, fuck it. So yeah, GM3 taking on Bruno Silva. I just don't really like this fight for GM3, to be honest. Silva's looked really good in the UFC. He's come up against maybe not as sneaky a grappling threat as Meerschaert, but I would say all round a much better grappling threat in Turman and Sanchez. and supposed to an extent Jordan
Different,
Wright.
very different,
Yeah,
very different type of.
but they're much more effective in a broad array of positions, whereas
Yeah,
GM3
yeah.
needs you to get a little sloppy in particular kind of positions. So, and he's not even that great at pulling guard these days. I don't like it. I'm picking a lot of KOs on this card. I'm picking Silver by KO.
Yeah, I'm picking Silver by KO as well. Listen, GM3, big favorite for me. Love watching that guy fight. He's had some really good underdog wins recently, but he always starts bad in the first round. It's like this curse that he's got. He can't start well. And he's up against a guy that is very physically strong, better than him on the feet, will apply pressure early, and can handle himself grappling. I don't see Bruno Silva getting caught in a stupid submission. I don't see him doing anything careless. To be honest, I don't even see the fight going to the ground unless it's in a position that Bruno Silva wants it to be. And I think that's going to be a big problem for GM3. It's Silva all day for me. And I
KO.
think I said KO. I did say KO.
I'm gonna have to mark down the ones we've done differently when we come to.
Sly, however, is backing Meerschaert. He's going Meerschaert sub. So that's the only fight that he has different from any of us. All of us, me and Josh, are identical apart from methods. Sly, identical with us. The only one that we have different is Sly's gone for Meerschaert. Watch us get like all of these fights wrong now.
Yeah, Sly wins it going 0-1.
That means the next fight you'll have is Azamat Mirzakhanov taking on Devin Clark. Now, Devin Clark had a massive win at heavyweight against William Knight and a much-needed win after a bit of a rough stretch. And Mirzakhanov is much fresher in the UFC. And an undefeated record can be a real lie that can send you down some bad picks in this sport. But I do think Mirzakhanov's got this.
Yeah, I mean, knockout of Nchukwi was maybe not super athletic, but it was fucking brutal. It was really nice. Devin Clark, the best thing I can really say about him coming into this fight is that he's very durable, very hard to put away. I think this is going to be
not a compliment.
Yeah, well, I'm struggling for things to kind of pick on his side, you know. I feel like I'm going with Mirzakhanov in every kind of position here. I'm going decision.
I went KO. No, I went decision. Oh,
for fuck's sake.
I went decision. And Sly went KO. So you got one difference in method there.
Well, actually, I don't even mark Sly's methods because.
We're identical on the methods right now. This is worrying.
Unless GM3 Silver's some kind of no contest.
That could be interesting.
I don't want to jinx that. Don't jinx that. Touch wood.
Watch this space. Okay, moving on briskly. Cynthia Calvillo taking on Nina Nunes. This fight we've already done picks for because we did this a few weeks ago when this fight was first booked for. It got cancelled. It's been moved to this card. Nothing is changing in my mind. I'm going Calvillo decision all the way.
I don't know if I did pick Nunes or Calvillo on the last one, but I'm going Calvillo decision. I think we talked about it before we started recording. Nunes is definitely the breadwinner in that household, so I wonder how much Nina was really able to dedicate to her training camp, especially with so much of it overlapping while Nunes is living at the gym. Calvillo, just an easy pick, right?
She's younger, fresher. She's had some stumbles, but I still think that she could be something. And I don't like Calvillo at flyweight, but Nina Nunes is really a straw weight. This fight's at flyweight. There's no size advantage there. I think this is Calvillo's all day, and we're all agreed. Calvillo by decision. Which takes us to women's strawweight, two debutantes to open the card up. Yasmin Yarogui, or Jarogui, I'm going to go with Yarogui, taking on Yasmin Lucindo. Different spellings of Jasmine and Yasmin. I don't know which one you meant to pronounce which way, so we're just going to go with Jarogui and Lucindo. And I'm going Jarogui because she's undefeated, and that's all the information I have. Jarogui by decision.
I want it to be Jaregi. That's what I've been saying in my head all day.
Jaregi. Yeah. I went KO. I went KO for Jaregi.
I think I've gone decision. I've kind of just looked at a few different betting lines and decided that I can't really tell anything from that, and then I just sort of picked out a hat. I have no confidence in that method, but you've gone KO, yeah?
Yeah, I have no confidence, dude. I don't even know who these people are. Sly's gone for Jauregi by decision.
Fair enough, fair enough. And then have you got
Alright.
the heavies next?
Heavies. What? Martin Bidet taking on
Lucas
such and
Brzezinski.
such. That's the one. I do have that fight next. And again, I'm very undecided, but I'm going to stick with the person I've seen fight before. So I'm going Martin Bidet. I'm going Martin Bidet by KO.
Yeah, let's go Martin Bidet, KO. Brzezinski's come through the contender series, won. No contest because he tested positive for drum roll, please. Don't do a real drum roll. That's so annoying on the podcast, on the interwebs.
Yeah.
He
Well, I'm not Sherlock Holmes, but
clomiphene.
I'm going
No,
to
no.
put two and two together and say that a man that has an impressive performance and then immediately pops for drugs, maybe the drugs were responsible for such incredible performance.
It's always a risk. Anyway, Bidet KO. Fuck cheaters.
There you go. My apologies, I did not say KO, I said decision. That may fuck me.
Nice.
I don't like that.
So that's the other one we got different, right?
Yeah, two different so far. Which takes us to Gabriel Benitez taking on Charlie Ontiveros. Nice and quick. Charlie Ontiveros I do not rate. I'm going Gabriel Benitez. I'm saying Benitez by KO.
Yeah, same. Ontiveros, skinny legs, big fucking head. Mowgli keeps fucking me on this picture. I keep backing him. He keeps losing. Break the streak, big man.
He will break the streak. Sly has also gone for Benitez, but he's gone for Benitez by sub. O'Day Osborne next up, taking on Tyson Nam, who's always good fun, but I just think O'Day Osborne is a little bit higher level. Equally has knockout power, super exciting guy. He's had a couple of tough fights, but they're against really good people, so you got to allow that. I'm going O'Day by KO.
I am also going O'Day by KO. I think I
We're all
meant to put
carpooling.
decision down, but fuck it. I've written KO now. We're all
And hey, and that's a carpool. Sly's going O'Day by KO as well. And that takes us
Save the
to
planet.
Yusuf Salal. Yusuf Salal himself taking on Damon Blackshear, who I've never heard of before. My pick is Zalal by decision.
Yeah, Zalal needs a win in the worst way. I can't remember if he's 3-3 or 4-4 in the UFC, but it was all wins and then it was all losses. Damon Blackshear, I don't know if that's a contender series lag coming through. Nah, not even.
Most likely.
Not
I
even.
know.
Straight from CFFC. Yeah, that's right. Quinones was supposed to be the first man up for the Moroccan Devil, but yeah,
That makes more
so
sense.
yeah, Zalal feels like an easy pick for me. He has got a lot of fucking talent. This guy's stand up is pretty fun. Kind of like Diet Zabit. I'm gonna go to Salau decision though.
Yeah, and Sly's going to go Zalal sub. Now, there are still two fights because we now have Jason Witt taking on Josh Quinnen on this card. I'm going to stick with my original pick, which was Quinnen by KO. I think that's the same as yourself.
Yeah, Quinn
And
KO.
Sly went Quinnen KO as well. And then the other fight that we now have on this card is Ariane Lipsky taking on, is it Priscilla
Yeah.
Kushwala?
Zombie girl, yeah.
And all of us went Lipsky on the last card, so we're going Lipsky by decision on this card.
Yeah, I think
We are
Sly,
so fucking identical.
Sly might have gone sub, but again, it doesn't really matter too much for Sly's methods at this point. It's all kind of academic. Yeah, I got decision.
Oh, he did go sub. He did go sub. You're right. You're right. So we are pretty fucking similar on this one. That usually means we get loads wrong. Maybe this week will be different. Guys, let us know how you get on with your own picks. Feel free to put them in the comments if you want to put all of them. If you do better than us and you list it, we'll give you a shout out. But more importantly than anything, enjoy the fights. Check out a bit of PFL on Friday. Check out some Bellator, UFC on Saturday. And most of all, like the video.
And to the guy that commented a couple of weeks ago asking if Loopy or Hill's going to win, comment on this one. Give you a shout out next week.
Wait, did we miss off Angela Hill versus Lupi Godinez for our picks?
I've got the pick. We've all made the pick. Did we not talk about that? We haven't talked about that.
We didn't really talk about it, did we?
No, well, apart from the fact that we said like maybe that should have been the co-main. That's as much as
Yeah,
we
fuck.
said.
We completely missed it
Yeah.
off. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And this is like one of the best. Oh fuck. If we'd not actually talked about one of the fights that we literally said should have been the second most important fight on the card, that would be bad. Angela Hill taking on Lupita Godinez. Ooh, good save from Matt. I love Angela Hill, and I hate this fight for her because Lupi's pretty damn good. It's at a catch weight now. That's only going to favour Lupi, who can certainly be bigger.
Yeah.
She's got that wrestling style, man. That's the problem. If this was a striking matchup, I would say Angela Hill can hang with people. Like, Angela Hill on the feet hung with Lemos without looking completely out of place. But when it comes to grappling and that kind of pressure style, she can't deal with it. It's Lupi by decision all day for me on this one.
Yeah, sorry, overkill. I've got a Lupi decision as well. I think we can't.
Sly, for some reason, did not enter a pick for that one. That's what threw me off.
Did he? No, he hasn't picked. Yeah, okay. We'll get his pick in.
We'll get his pick. We'll figure it out.
We say that, and every time that I'm going to put it in the group now because we stop recording and then we just fuck off and we just like don't think about it again. Then the fights roll around and I'm like, oh
lives.
yeah. All right,
That's a lie. I don't have a life. I just have a football manager career.
Yeah, I just got a girlfriend. That's it. I just got a girlfriend and a job. But I love them both dearly, especially the job. All right. Thanks. Bye, Laurie. Bye, Dave.
Bye, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.